Damn, you got that One Piece collection on? Damn,
Where's your
fire.
stuff?
I haven't got shit.
You didn't ask for it?
I didn't get shit.
What? Are you serious? Did you want it?
Yeah, I wanted some.
All right. Yeah, talk to your managers. Find out what's going on with managers not getting our people stuff.
You don't want to hear my ASMR or what? Hey guys, welcome back to the Cloud9 Forecast, episode 10. Today we're joined by our coach Reapered and the CEO Jack. Before we begin, I have a special announcement. Kia will be at the LCS Summer Finals Day 2. Come by and check out how Kia will be powering the Cloud9 and Red Bull booths with an EV9. It'll be a lot of fun. I hope to see you guys there.
All right.
We've got Jack and Reapered. So how are you guys doing?
Doing fine. Obviously, lots of work during the season. And it will be ended the regular season very soon. I have to prepare playoffs. So it's going to be easy as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Jack?
Doing well. It's really fun to have both of you guys here together. We haven't often been able to hang out together as a group in a bit, so it's pretty cool.
It's crazy that it doesn't feel like it's been 8 years since we last
been
were
8
on
years?
pod.
8 years?
Yeah, 2016. It's 2024
No
now.
way, dude.
8 years, wow.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
a long
know,
time.
dude. I feel it doesn't feel like that,
Does
but
not feel like 8
here we
years.
are. Reaper, what's it been like coming back to Cloud9? How's that all been?
Obviously, like, same vibe again. 8 years ago, first time I came in here, same house, same practice room. I mean, it's a little different. We were two different separate houses, but still the same area. And then we practice there, we eat there, we working out there. So it kind of like the same vibe. And then also Jack is still here. He drive the team, right? So it does feel very like came back to the home, like that kind of vibes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Familiar?
Yeah, familiar.
It was pretty, like, when I considered bringing you back as a coach, I knew you had what we needed to get back on page. And when you came back, it kind of felt like you almost didn't leave. Like you just slipped right back into the way we work together. And it was very comfortable, I think, for us and for all the players as well.
What were you doing before you came back to Cloud9, Reaper? Like, what have you been up to?
I went to the Japan for like they offered good like offers. So I went Japan a year and then I came back. Obviously, like after like big seasons, like let's say after EDG, I left from the China. I take a split break, like one season, and then after Cloud9, I took a 1 season break as well, and then after Japan, I took a 1 break, and then at the summer, came back to the C9.
Do those breaks help?
Yeah, it does help a lot. Like, if I'm just keep running, I'm out of my juice.
Mhm.
Like, really easy to get burned out or getting confused after you lost something like finals. Even the players, like, kind of, sometimes they are lost their mind, like, what went wrong, something like that, right? I
Yeah.
need time for figured out what went wrong or what could be better for myself so that I can drive team better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of like a mental reset.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What was it like coaching in Japan compared to, Korea or America? Do you speak Japanese?
Yeah, I do speak Japanese.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's impressive.
I mean, not like high level, but yeah. It does feel like when I just first time started my career in Korea as a pro player, that does same vibe. Like 10 years ago, like pro playing in the Korea, like those like some old vibes, but very like friendly and family style like gaming house, right?
Yeah.
I bet you have that memory too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I love
that.
That's
when
like-
you guys first time started the LCS, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lot of good memories of the early days. It was very different from now.
Yeah, it is a very different from now, but yeah, it does that same vibe,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed it.
I heard you've been playing a lot of Swarm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
It is very cool game, but I wish they are adding something extra hard mode in the next patch or two.
Yeah. Have you played it at all, Jack?
A little bit. Maybe 4 or 5 games. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
it.
was grinding it for a while too. I kind of like maxed out everything, and I'm like, yeah, it was a good time. They'll hopefully bring it back at some point.
I don't need extra hard mode.
Dude, I mean, that's just how those games go.
Yeah.
Jack, what was the thought process and conversation with Reapered like when you were bringing him back to Cloud9?
It was actually over a period of several weeks. In spring split, things weren't going well, or we weren't meeting our expectations. I guess we got third, so we weren't like terrible, but like the expectations were much higher that for ourselves and from everybody else. And I felt like some of the problems we had at that team had been problems I've been seeing for more than just through spring split. And I felt like the qualities that Reapered brings to coaching would address a lot of those issues. And I actually, at the spring, we have this long, I like to say 3-week break. I know Mark likes to say 2. We had the 3-week break in spring where we weren't playing. And I actually met up with Reapered for lunch. Actually, it was the week before the break started. So, and we were talking about like some of the issues that we're having on the team, and that I thought that he would, fit the team well and probably address a lot of these issues. And we threw around I'm like, basically just told him like over lunch we're having some sushi, and I'm like, yo, so if I was to say the coach spot was open, would you be interested in coming back? And he's like, yeah. Let's do it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I got to kind of assess the situation. I think you would fit really well right now. And I actually think the timing back in spring during that 3-week break would have been a perfect time to bring him in to kind of establish himself and be ready to finish out spring well. And he felt so as well. Like it's a really good timing, but I wasn't ready to pull the plug on what we were doing at that point in time. It felt like, even though I, in my gut, knew it was probably the right decision to make, I felt if I pulled the plug and I assigned him as head coach and took Mithy off as head coach, I may have been doing something that everybody else wasn't ready for at that point in time. And it probably would have felt like chaotic and scary to the players and the other staff, because I don't think they were seeing the problems I was seeing and weren't really ready for that big change yet. So I decided to take it on with my coaching staff and like, hey, these are the changes I need to see for this to, these changes need to happen, and give them the chance to try to fix it. And so they worked really hard. They tried to fix it, but at the end of the day, they didn't. So when I had talked to the players and the staff about like, what do we do after spring had ended, everybody was ready for that change. And I asked Reaper, are you still interested? He's like, yeah, let's do it. And so we made the change happen.
Cool. I mean, it's good to have you back, Reapered. You mentioned a little bit how coming back to Cloud9 felt, familiar. What differences have you noticed now? Because how many of the players have you worked with before? Was it just Blaber? Maybe Sven. Sven's on the team.
Just Blaber.
Just Blaber?
Yeah.
Okay. How are all the new guys? Are they any surprises?
Not really. Even the first time I'm playing with them, like coaching with them, but I've been heard about lots of things on the other players. Like I'm living in the Impact right now. Obviously, he's talking about the Etienne or Vulcan, and I know Blaber. And then obviously, some of the Koreans are come and hang out at my house. So I've been talking about the Berserker before, and I've been heard about him, like how he practicing or how he playing, those kind of things. So nothing like really surprised. Like everything is just kind of like expected way.
Yeah. We played with Vulcan in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So It's like
Okay, so a couple.
yeah, and coming to the team, like we actually when we first brought him on, like Fudge was still like on the team, and he'd actually seen Fudge develop through the academy system. So like he's like, okay, I know these 3 guys, so and these other 2 guys, I can handle it. But
Yeah.
Cool. So you'd say it feels more similar than different?
In a roster way, it is very different. Like every player have a different personality and different like strengths and weaknesses, right? So and also it does help that I'm not joining at the spring break time. I joined that after the spring, and I have a whole like the off season for we are having a boot camp, and then I can hang out with the players. I can have a develop with the relationship with the players so that I can get better quality of coachings for them, you know? So it does feel very different every two players in my mind, but in this team they're very friendly and like likable personality. So yeah, I like it.
Cool. So I imagine you watched, the games from spring before you came into coach. From the outside, when you watch a team, it can be kind of hard to know what's going on. But what you expected from the outside, when watching them compared to when you were actually working with them, hearing their comms, seeing how they interacted?
Yeah, first time I joined the C9, and then obviously before Scream start, when I just joined the team and then had a meeting with the players, first time I brought up is, okay, our team fight sucks, our positioning sucks, our map movement sucks, you guys don't know how to snowballing the game, and then you guys are into the too much, like those kind of things, obviously in a nice way. And then after we started Scream, I heard that our voice come. One thing that I started very first was you guys talk too much. Like you cannot play a game like this if you're talking too much and you're not focusing on your play. Like you're fighting right now, you're like fight for the death right now, and you're still talking. Like how is that possible? Like you have to focus on your gameplay, not the other.
Yeah.
You're basically you're talking is you're kind of like separate focus on the other, right?
Yeah.
You're still playing, but like you're dying. You're about to die. Yo, Jack, can you help me? Like I'm fighting right now. Where's my team? Like that's not how it works,
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's been my experience on most teams I play on. It's like I get so distracted when everyone's talking too. I'm just like, dude, I can't even think right now. Like I'm getting dizzy.
He asked for like some of the games with comms, and he listened to it, and he's just like, oh my God, I'm getting like a headache from listening to like the spew of information that actually is not important being said.
Yeah.
Nice. So Cloud9 has already qualified for playoffs. You guys are 5-0 in the split, and it's such a short split. It's like 7 matches. Like, I don't know. That's kind of crazy. But either way, good we're in playoffs. Reapered, I heard that Blaber has a Nidalee coupon. What's that all about?
Still going on. The coupons are still there.
Okay.
After probably there was a week 1 day 1, right? Week 1 day 1. First game he played Nidalee.
So.
He played Nidalee, and then he ended up 0-7-4, something like that.
Something like that.
It's that first big game,
Yeah,
right?
something 07, right?
Yeah.
So after that, it was kind of like become a meme in our team. Like, Blaber, you want to play Nidalee?
That's
a
funny.
Nidalee day. But he actually brought up after like couple of weeks, yo, I'm very ready for playing Nidalee again. I think this champion is really strong right now, and I hope like I can play on the stage as well. And then if my players say so, like I'm really down. Like I do believe that Nidalee is a strong champion, but it requires lots of like team effort on that Nidalee pick, and then himself he have to prove he can play much better than like before,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something I found pretty interesting was, his first Nidalee game, I remember watching it, and like he was up against a rough comp, but it was like Nautilus Poppy. It was like
something like that.
everyone on their team had the ability to just like CC and one-shot him. So when he was actually here on the podcast, I asked him, I was like, did you think about going Merc Treads this game? And I remember he said, no, like if I'm building Merc Treads, I'm not playing Nidalee. You know, it's like not worth playing this champ without Merc Treads. And then, since then, you know, we've seen a lot of it, like Canyon is whipping it out in LCK, and Blaber was been playing Merc Tread Nidalee. So I remember thinking, I was like, huh, I thought I remember him saying something else. But, you know, it is good that's always the thing with pro players. It's like you got to be confident in what you're doing, but also like kind of have an open mind. Like you shouldn't take every suggestion someone has immediately, but, you know, you don't want to be like too stubborn about certain things. So it is cool.
I've worked with Blaber a while, and I've noticed like often if you suggest something and he doesn't agree with it, he'll say no right away, but he thinks about it like for a while and digests it, and I'll be surprised. Like I'll see things come up later that he initially said no way.
He got that from Sneaky. That is the Sneaky. He literally the whole time playing, even to this day still.
Yeah.
Anytime a new build, new anything comes out, he'll say, nope, that's terrible. This guy's trolling. And then a week later, I'll see him doing it.
You're like, no.
Like with the Corky rework, legit, you know, there's this, Reaper, have you seen Lol Dobby on YouTube?
Lord of yeah.
Yeah, he makes these like guides for new champs and stuff. It's just like, he watches Korean Challenger games. So he made one on Corky when it came out. He's like, you know, this is how Korean Challengers using Corky. It was like Hail Blades Emax. So I asked Sneaky about it, and Sneaky's like a Lol Dobby hater for some reason. And he's like, nope, it's terrible. And then I go to his stream like a week later, and he's doing the same thing. Classic Sneaky, dude. Yeah. Classic.
I'm actually a big fan of Lol Dobby.
Yeah,
I play every champion you posting it. It's kind of like new build and looks fun, right?
Yeah. No, he's awesome. I like his channel a lot. Reapered, what are your craziest stories from back on C9 when you were here before?
What is my craziest story? I can't
We
remember.
heard some on the LCK, but you know, there's probably
No, not that one. That's not craziest one.
okay.
That's not craziest one. There was a different questions. Like there was a question that like about the match. Okay, and only thing I can popping off in my head, the craziest memory is about the impact.
About Impact?
Impact.
The one where we were arguing about runes?
No, not that one.
Okay.
Okay, so after finals, I'm not sure that was a Toronto. I think it was a Vancouver. So obviously we lost against TSM again, probably. I'm not sure, but probably. And then we went to a club after that night, and then we drink shit tons, okay? Like, we are getting shit-faced.
Yeah.
And then, even right now, and even back then, if I drink too much, I just stop. I just stop drinking. And then, because of the, like...
Oh,
yeah. And because of the, I'm with the players, right? If I remember correctly, every player was there, but at the time, like 4 a.m. or something like that, I was with Impact and Jensen, okay? And I'm hanging out with them, so I'm gonna stop drinking now and then make sure these guys are being safe tomorrow because we have a tomorrow early morning like flight. Okay.
Okay. I think I remember Impact on that flight.
Yes. I don't think he remembers.
So anyway, I took the taxi. Impact was going hotel alone, and Jensen. I think I was sending Jensen home too. And then I went to the hotel, and that was like 5 a.m. or something like that. So I just want to make sure these guys are safe. And then the flight time is like 6, like we have to leave there like 6 or 7, like very early morning, right? So I have to make sure these guys are safe. So I was knocking the Impact's door. He was just came out with a full naked.
Not hiding behind the door. He just opens the door wide.
Yeah, it's just
Yo,
I'm here.
no clothing. What's going on?
Yeah, and then everyone sees his ass, and then I guess he's fine, right? Okay. We have a flight very early morning. You have to be ready. So see you there, and then we left, right? So from the hotel lobby at the 7 or 8 a.m., he was started puking.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember this.
It's so bad.
He started puking over there, and then on the way to the airplane, he keep puking like we're giving him to like little bag
Through security. Through security, Robin was holding him up as we're going through security. Just please don't puke right now.
Okay. So it was puking all the way on the way to the airport, and then he keep puking at the airport as well when we checking in. So like we were nervous, and then
Yeah, I remember Jack being like, I don't know if they're going to let him on the flight.
I didn't think so. There's like no way.
And then one thing that I would say to Robin and Jack was, I'm not gonna wait in him.
I know. Me and Robin are like, oh, God.
We have one manager over there, so he can take you.
Yeah.
That's the
I forgot about that
craziest
story.
memory, yeah.
I remember that.
I don't even remember like our first when we were in Paris for the All-Star event.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember after the All-Star event, we all went to that bar and Balls and Impact started having a shot contest.
Oh, I do remember that.
And they would drink like a shot and then do like 10, 15 push-ups and then
I
do another
remember
one.
that, yeah.
That was my first interaction with Impact. And I'm like, this guy's really nice. This guy's crazy. Next thing I know, him and Balls are just, yeah.
Yeah, that was good times.
Those were
I
good
remember, I think that was the first after party where like I was looking for Faker, but he wasn't there. Like he just doesn't party. He's just
Yeah.
You just play.
Impact
he's
took
just
over.
only a league player. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Next, we got some fan questions coming in for you guys. This first one is for Reapered. It says, what changed about your coaching style from the last time you were on C9 to now?
It's very hard to say because every year, like, I'm a human and person that like, if you're thinking about it, like, as a team, it's not just players are growing. Coaches are growing, CEOs are growing, the staff members are growing. Like, every year you take something to, like, experience and then you are growing, right? So all the processes I have is very hard to say, like, what's the differences back in the day and now. Probably that's more on the outside person question. I'd like to say, like, Jack probably noticed something differences than before. But I would like to say, when I'm first time working with you, Medios, my English was just too bad so that I couldn't understand whatever you say. So basically, Robin transfer everything, right?
Yeah.
So that was very rough for me because I feel like I have a not direct relationship with my players.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to like giving offer to good quality of coachings. Like if I drew someone, it's not just like as good as I'm directly with someone, you know?
Yeah.
So
Makes
that
sense.
was probably the biggest differences I have right now. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. Like, I think each team, like from Medios was there, or when you left in 2020, or to now, the coaching is slightly different because, like, you're right, the players are different. You've changed, and it feels very similar, but it is definitely different. And so it's really hard to like identify exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But I do feel like you're able to have definitely a closer relationship one-on-one with the players. Also, like, you know, two of our players also speak Korean. So like that also you have probably a close relationship with those guys. And it's just different, but the general feeling is the same.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable.
Mm-hmm. That's good. This next one is for Jack. It says, what do you think about the merger of the Americas leagues?
I mean, it's really interesting, like when I think about it, because there's the kind of different conferences, right? For the LCS teams, it's painful because we're essentially giving up international slots that we had. We always had 3 teams at Worlds. Now at max, we have 2. It's potentially 1 to 2. So we're giving up like our international slots for this. That's hard to swallow, but I'm also excited about Americas as a region working together. And I think there could be some real excitement and between us pushing each other to be better and representing our region as a whole, other places as well. There's gonna be challenges. There's definitely some, I think, downsides for both areas, but I do feel like for the other regions joining up with us, they're now getting prime international spots. They're not potentially not play-in spots, which I think is really good for them. So I'm hoping that we all kind of focus on the positive changes and that it ends up being really good for our now much larger region as a whole. But anytime there's changes, there's always a bit of uncomfortability going to it. So I have that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's fairly shared sentiment from fans as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next question is for Reapered again. It says, how is this C9 squad different to coach than other rosters you've worked with? Who's the easiest and most difficult to coach?
Like in the only C9, right?
For the easiest and most difficult, yeah, I think that's just this
like
current
C9
team.
days, yeah.
Yeah.
Easiest working with. Oh, for now, I would say Blaber. It's very easiest coaching or having a relationship as a person. Like, if he say he wants something to do, like I'm always say, yeah, you do it. If I say something you want to do, like I want you to play this, then he always like down for it. So it's very easy to like deal with the Blaber. And then difficult. If someone pops out is some old days C9 members.
No, I think it's just this current roster.
This current roster, okay. Probably I would say 조조편.
Okay.
Surprise or?
I mean, I know he can be a bit loud in comms. That's what I've heard.
It's not like difficult, but the other guys are really easy to deal with. Like the other 4 compared to Jojo.
Yeah.
Like really easy and then somewhat normal,
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question. The next one, this is back for Jack again.
Yeah.
What C9 player has impressed you the most on any C9 team from any game or roster, not just league?
Oh, damn.
It's a tough one.
That is a tough one. And there's so many examples of players like going above what I expected them to do. So damn. Okay, like shit. Okay, I will say going into our Boston Major, like that was like a dead team walking. Like I was basically sure that we were going to have massive roster changes as soon as this major ended. And we were just holding together because we had this major qualification. And so we weren't going to make any changes then, but everybody really wanted changes. So my expectation of that event was super low. I'm like, we're going to go out like immediately. We're not going to, we're just going to like basically say, wave our hand. We showed up and fly right home. And it was pretty crazy because Tarek, before the event, he said, hey, you're going to come out to the event? I'm like, I was thinking, this team's dead. Like, why? I'm like, look, if you get into the bracket stage, so you got to go through the group stage and you qualify for the bracket stage, I'll come out. And he's like, good. I think, who knows? I think we could do something crazy. And we immediately went into the Swiss stage. We're down 0-2. I'm thinking, this is over, right? And somehow we fight our way through like the Swiss stage and qualify for playoffs. I'm like, God damn it, I got to get on this plane and go. I promised him. And so and Tarek calls me out. He's like, you coming? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. Get out there. And then to watch us like fight all the way to the grand finals, and which is kind of unthinkable for this team. Like just the semifinals is unthinkable. To get to the grand final stage is unthinkable. And we're basically, we should be losing this series. We're down. I don't remember exactly what the score was, but it was like, you guys remember? You guys don't remember. But anyways, we're way down. And we fought all the way back into overtime and to win that match and to win the first North American major ever and since. It's never happened again. That was the most like insane moment for me to see a team that's basically blown up to win this whole event. And we all know the rest of the stories. It blew up anyways.
Yeah.
They didn't make it very far after that. But that was definitely just like, wow, absolutely exceeded expectations. And as a unit, they completely, it's hard for me to even pick one guy on that team because all of them, to say probably Skadoodle was probably like the biggest surprise because, he showed up in a way that he needed to actually make that event happen, and he exceeded everyone's expectations. So that's a tough question too.
Yeah. It's super
As I'm
tough,
saying
but
I'm thinking about
is,
these other opportunities. Like we got the semifinals, which is like unthinkable, and so it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, it's super hard, but that is a really cool story. It's like a really big protagonist moment. It's just like
it's huge.
You can make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
Next questions for Reapered. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The question is, what's the difference between coaching LJL and LCS?
Like big differences. Like if you think about 10 years of the LCS, like 10 years ago, it's kind of similar feeling. Like it's not developed yet, basically. They just started esports and they just trying to develop these businesses and then they just don't know how to. So they are trying to bring up the other regions coaches and who have a lot of experience and that they just want to develop not just on the League of Legends or Valorant, just as a game. They want to have someone have experience, develop that scene or develop that system for the esports team. So they are that lover. So the differences are like huge. Like in North America or Korea or even China, like Europe, they are already been like so long in the esports and they are trying to develop like lots of different areas. They are on the level that we can call that like these guys are a professional esports team, right? But 10 years ago, obviously us, like we were hanging out, friends, having a good game, some sponsorship liked us, so they offered the money, right?
Yeah.
That vibe, yeah.
Cool. The second part of the question is, what do you miss about Japan?
What I miss about Japan? Not much. I like the friends over there. When I'm working at the LJL, I had a lot of good relationship with my players and then with the staffs over there. They're very friendly and I have a lot of good memories with them. So one thing that I missed is my friends over there. Yeah.
Cool. This next one is for Jack. It's not league related. Is C9 going to keep the NYSL name League X COD content crossover possible?
So, all right. And some of this stuff is not really supposed to be announced, but whatever, I'm just going to say it. So we're going to be named Cloud9 New York. It is a location-based league, which is pretty cool. And so it'll be Cloud9 New York, but we won't have any of the subliners like branding at all. So the main reason we're not sticking with the subliner branding is that we bought the slot, not necessarily the subliners brand. So it's not ours to just use like that. But also we've had before where we've had multiple brands that we manage. Like our Overwatch team was London Spitfire. And it always felt like we weren't quite connected. And so as we expand into new games, I really want Cloud9 to be like the home brand that we're supporting, and so now being Cloud9 New York, yeah, it's slightly different, but it's still Cloud9. We still have our logo, so it still feels like the same home. And that to me really that resonates really well with me, and I hope it resonates well with Cloud9 fans. And if you think historically, like Cloud9 has been in COD before. We have a history in COD before, and it's kind of going back to our Call of Duty roots. Going back as a subliners would have just been a little bit weird for me. And also just not possible. So Cloud9 New York to me felt like the best solution to that.
Okay. Next question is for Reapered. These are the last ones. What is your goal for this season in particular, and what are your long-term goals for this team?
My goal when I'm working as a coach is always been the same. I want to make the team that fight against the top level teams, and then eventually we take the wins over there. So I'm not saying like win wars or kind of things are my goal, but definitely I want to make the team that everyone can proud of it. That's probably my prime goal every single time. Yeah.
Good. It's a good goal. This final question is for Jack. It's another kind of hard one. It's what has been your proudest moment as the CEO and founder of Cloud9?
A single moment. Oh man, it's kind of tough. Like seriously, like the people I've had the opportunity to work with, both as like players, managers, and staff at Cloud9, it's like I'm so proud of the work that everybody puts in to move us forward. And it's really hard to like identify like one of these groups because like there's the overall joy to have the experience of actually being here and working with so many good people is I'm absolutely proud of that. And so it's really hard for me to pinpoint a single spot because there's so much goes into making a team get on stage. Like it's just, that's like a byproduct of everyone working hard to be their best, their best version of themselves, or to build Cloud9 to be as best company it can be every single day. And I'm really proud about the small things that people do, the small improvements people do every single day to make Cloud9 better. And these trophy lifting moments where they're really special, but they're like the work that actually got us there. That's what I'm super excited about and super interested about, and wake up every day to get excited to work with these people who are just as interested to grow with me. So as an organization as a whole, I'm really proud of the general culture we have here at Cloud9, that so many people consider Cloud9 like their family, and they like so like you and Squishy and Reapered. So many people have gone off and done other really great things, but they want to come back because they like working here. And I think that we have a place that people kind of consider their home. That's what I'm really proud of.
Yeah, I mean that is super true. I think I've been in other orgs, other people have been in other orgs, and no place feels quite like Cloud9 in that regard. So that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
And that's going to wrap it up for the fan questions and this episode.
No, I have one question for you.
Oh, we got one more question.
Okay. So so us three back in the days, 8 years ago, we worked together, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any good memories back in the day and bad memories? Those two.
Good and bad memories?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say more good than bad for sure. I don't remember. Were you there when? I can't remember if this was the right year. You weren't here when Charlie was on the team, right?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I really liked our Korea trips, and just like, we'd all be holed up playing solo queue, and then after scrims, we'd just like go out for K barbecue, like
every day,
have some soju, like just walk down the streets. Like that was just so fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have fond memories of that. And as far as bad memories, I don't know. I mean, there was I think losing Toronto definitely sucked because, we were so close.
Yeah.
Coming back onto the team and, getting to the finals, feeling like we could win. I think we won the first game,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah.
And then we lost afterwards. Like that's always super crushing. So that was probably the most painful one that I can remember.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for the episode. Thank you again, Reaper and Jack, for joining me. It was awesome to chat with you guys. And to everyone watching, thank you for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. And again, Keel will be at the C9 booth for the LCS Summer Finals Fan Fest on day 2. So be sure to check that out. And, leave a like, comment down below, and let us know who you want to see in the next episode.